Hey, what's up, guys? The Modern Warfare 2 beta has now come and gone, and I played it quite a bit, and I've got a lot of thoughts about it. So I thought today we'd just roll some gameplay that I captured over the weekend, and just kind of talk about what's good, what's bad, what worked, what didn't work, and so yeah, let's get into it. All right, so let's talk about the good. First up, multiple game modes. It seems like there's a little bit for everyone in this round of Call of Duty. I really appreciate the amount of content that we're seeing so far. You've got TDM, Domination, Knockout, Hardpoint, S&D, Ground War, Invasion, Third Person Mode, and Prisoner Rescue were all available during the beta. That doesn't even cover what else will be included in the game down the road. You've got Warzone 2, DMZ, a new campaign, and something that I'm really interested in is raids. We don't know much about these, but they're said to be for 3-man squads, and supposedly there will be puzzle-solving thinking in between bouts of intense combat. Very excited to see what that will look like and what that turns into. But anyway, having a background of playing Battlefield for half of my life, I lean towards bigger game modes, and Ground War was lots of fun. I feel like in Modern Warfare 2019, Ground War felt a little weak, and I can't really even explain it to you why that was, but I really didn't enjoy it that much. But in the beta, it was probably the mode that I enjoyed the most. Dolphin diving out of the helicopter onto an unsuspecting enemy brought that Battlefield feeling to Call of Duty, and I really enjoyed that. My second favorite mode was actually the third person mode, and I'll be the first to say I'm not really into third person shooters, but I had flashbacks of Gears of War and fun moments of outplaying the enemy, and a lot of the time I honestly forgot that I was even playing a Call of Duty game, so that was a lot of fun for me. It seems like they have created game modes that cater to almost anyone. You know, Invasion almost seems like a very casual ground war with all the AI that's on the map. You have the very casual 6v6 modes such as third person, TDM, and domination, or you could get sweaty and competitive with S&D and prisoner rescue, which that game was a lot of fun as well. Overall, I appreciate the efforts of Infinity Ward to create a Call of Duty that includes such a wide variety of modes, and that's something that's severely lacking in today's shooters. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Halo Infinite. Alright, so the last thing that I'll mention is movement. I know there's a lot of divide with this topic, and I'll just say it outright. I have always hated slide canceling. I think it's a dumb mechanic to jam your button every 5 seconds. It's not even an intentional mechanic, it's a bug that needed to be fixed, and it just never got fixed. With that said, I enjoy the fact that they changed the movement this time around. It's obvious that Infinity Ward is trying to slow the game down a little, and that's probably due to DMZ releasing. Extraction game modes seem to play a little bit slower, and you know what? I'm okay with that because it's a good change for COD. They could probably change some stuff, and we'll get into that into the cons whenever it's related to movement. But we'll get into that. One of the other things that I've got noted here is just they introduced dolphin diving, which while it's a fun mechanic, it's not really usable in a lot of situations. But like I said, dolphin diving off of buildings or out of the helicopter in ground war, that's I don't know, it's kind of a cool feeling. But overall, the movement felt pretty smooth and had good pacing. Alright, so let's talk about the bad. First of all, the biggest thing is the UI. The menus in this game might be the worst in any game that I've ever played. I don't want to hold back here. Navigating the menus and the progression chart might be the worst choice in menus that I've ever seen, period. The progression of your guns and attachments were really hard to follow. And I actually had to Google how to unlock certain attachments because the game doesn't help you at all. I kept seeing people play with different sites, and I couldn't figure out why or how in the game. I was looking through the menus, I was trying to find it, and I couldn't figure it out. I am absolutely not a fan of having to Google certain items in a game over the game showing you how. It's confusing as a consumer of your product, and a huge turnoff for me. It needs some serious overhaul. Another thing that I really didn't enjoy was the audio. Now, this could go in the pros and the cons, and let me explain. I believe that they absolutely nailed the audio for Warzone and DMZ. In a large game mode that's anything but multiplayer, the directional audio that they threw in was absolutely perfect. They nailed it. But in a multiplayer setting that is mostly close quarters combat, not so much. I believe that if they keep the audio where it is for Warzone 2 and DMZ, it'll be fantastic. It'll be perfect. But Infinity Ward needs to back off the footstep audio just a touch to get those little campers from hearing everyone else run across the map. So I would like to see them just turn it back just for multiplayer, just a little bit. But like I said, in Warzone or DMZ, those bigger modes, I don't think you have to tweak it at all. They did a fantastic job on it. And the last thing that I'll talk about is the TTK. My initial thoughts were that the TTK was fine on the first night that I'd played the beta, but as I played through the weekend, I started to get a little aggravated at how fast I was being killed. If someone was ADSing through a door and you walked in, there was absolutely no chance for you. If someone shot you from behind, you couldn't even start to turn around before you were already respawning. It completely takes gun skill out of the equation, and that is quite literally my favorite part of FPS shooters. Outplaying and outshooting the enemy. The game almost, it felt like Valorant almost. No fun gun battles, just straight reaction time. With the combination of loud footsteps, no red dots on the minimap, and a very fast TTK, it's very obvious who Infinity Ward is catering to. I love the fact that they're slowing down the game a little bit with the movement, but they've created a perfect recipe for campers and they're eating it up. So in conclusion, while there's some great aspects of this year's Call of Duty, there's obviously some glaring issues in this game that concern me. I don't expect any of these problems that are brought up to really be changed, at least at launch, but I do hope that Infinity Ward listens to the community and continues to build on what seems to be a solid foundation of the game. With a wide variety of game modes, the not-so-hidden secret of DMZ forthcoming, along with Warzone 2 and Destiny-like raids, I feel as though this game down the road, it's going to be a great game. But look, at the end of the day, it's another Call of Duty. If you're looking for something innovative and game-changing, you'll have to look elsewhere in the FPS market. It's good, but it's the same old Call of Duty. My advice, don't take it so seriously, and you'll have fun with it.